नमस्कार जी।
नमस्कार
सर, आपकी आज्ञा से हमारे प्रेसिडेंट हैं, कैन वी स्टार्ट द प्रोग्राम्स?
यस यस श्योर मोस्ट
थैंक यू सो मच सर। गुड मॉर्निंग
मैं दिख
ऑनरेबल
रहा
मिनिस्टर
हूँ।
फॉर एनवायरमेंट, फॉरेस्ट, क्लाइमेट चेंज and Minister for Labour and Employment, Government of India. Mr. T.V. Narendran, President, Confederation of Indian Industry. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this virtual conclave on Clean and Green Planet, organized by Confederation of Indian Industry. Sir, it is indeed our honor to have you amidst us today. We are extremely grateful, sir, for you to be giving us time and gracing the inaugural session of this conclave, which is extremely relevant in the backdrop of industry gearing up for recovery from the pandemic. Industry is a key stakeholder, sir, and has enormous responsibility to ensure growth is sustainable and inclusive. Government of India has been encouraging businesses to adopt sustainable business practices and to integrate sustainability in their business models. Achieving both inclusive and sustainable national development is only possible through a collaborative effort from all stakeholders, as very well articulated by our Honorable Prime Minister's vision, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So CII is a platform which is a catalyst and a convener and is a provider of thought and action leadership. And it is in this backdrop that we are organizing the conclave today, which we hope will bring in a lot of insights and understanding, as we have esteemed speakers from organizations belonging to various sectors and academia who will share their valuable insights. With this, I once again welcome you, sir, and I request our President, Mr. T.V. Narendran, to please address us. Thank you.
Thank you, Seema. Shri Bhupendra Yadav, Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, Labour and Employment, Government of India. Seema, colleagues from the industry, distinguished guests, friends. First of all, thank you very much. Good morning to all of you, and thank you for joining us today. It gives me great pleasure to address this August gathering, and I must thank the Minister for joining us on such an important subject, and he has such an important portfolio that it'll be great to hear his views. The pandemic has reminded us what an important role all of us play as individuals and as industry in the ecological impact on the planet, and it has reminded us that there is a need for us to correct our course. The IPCC report, which has also come out recently, has reminded us that this cannot be business as usual, and we as industry need to work with government to find solutions for the future. So it's important for government and industry to work together, because the solutions that we find are going to be complex, are going to be expensive, and there are socioeconomic consequences as much as there are ecological consequences. And so to find that way to create a future which is worthy of our subsequent generations is something that industry and government needs to work together on. I must compliment the Honorable Minister and the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change for becoming more and more transparent and launching online platforms like Parivesh and introducing online monitoring systems for the ease of compliance, because this is aligned with the government's promise and initiatives on improving the ease of doing business. The Government of India has also been on the forefront of addressing environment challenges through various initiatives like the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the Namami Gange program, and the National Clean Air program. The Government of India has also ensured that we are well on track to fulfilling our obligations as per the Paris Agreement, and we are well on track to fulfill our commitments as per the NDCs. In fact, the promise to reduce emission intensity of GDP by 33 to 35% by 2030 compared to where we were in 2005 is very much on track, as well as a promise to have 40% of our cumulative power generation through renewable sources. In fact, India is now a leading player in both wind and solar globally. The Honorable Prime Minister has also launched a comprehensive national hydrogen energy mission to emphasize the commitment to decarbonizing industry. To support what the government is doing, industry has also stepped up its commitments, its plans, and is reinventing different business models. And CII has been deeply engaged in this subject for many years. And we have helped industry adopt sustainable business operations, be it in energy efficiency and conservation, nature-based solutions, water conservation, waste management, as well as social value creation. CII, through its 10 centers of excellence, is committed to areas of climate change through mitigation and adaptation, promoting energy efficiency, environment conservation, and forest protection, and reducing emissions through green practices. CII has also launched several IGBC green building rating systems and has been as a catalyst in creating almost 7.86 billion square feet of registered green building projects. The IGBC has 29 unique green rating systems addressing 9 to 17 SDGs. And through the green building movement, the annual recurring impact is saving of 15 billion units of kilowatt hour, 46 billion liters of water, 12 million tons of CO2 emissions avoided, and 3.9 million tons of construction waste diverted. CII stands together with the government and with industry towards nation's sustainable growth. And as India marches towards the 75th year of independence in 2022, CII rededicates itself to meeting the aspirations of citizens under its India at 75 mission. The mission aims for a morally, economically, and technologically advanced country in partnership with the government, industry, and all stakeholders. All parts of the economic ecosystem must work in partnership to ensure that the fastest possible progress under these metrics, and CII as a premier industry association, is a strong connect between the various players in this ecosystem. We need more role models and we need more stakeholders to raise their hand and demonstrate it. And this is where this conclave can play a role and get everyone together for understanding the diverse perspectives to guide each other towards a most productive route for a clean and green future. Thank you once again for joining us in this conclave. Over to you, Seema.
Thank you, President. And it is my privilege now to invite our Honorable Minister to please deliver the inaugural address. Thank you, sir.
Sir, you're on mute. So we can't hear you still. Seema, can you check?
Yes, sir. We're just getting it done through the office, sir. Thank you. So we will request the minister's IT team to please rejoin because it needs to be corrected from that side. If I may request the minister's IT team there to kindly rejoin because we cannot Sir, we can hear you very clearly now, sir. Thank you for the questions.
Yeah. Now you're hearing. Now my voice is clear.
Yes,
It
sir.
is audible?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you very much. Uh, I think there is some technical glitch. Now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure to be here at the virtual conclave on clean and green planet organized by the Confederation of Indian Industry. I believe it is a great platform to facilitate knowledge exchange on major emerging environmental issues and to showcase the positive commitment that we all as a society have been taking forward with respect to environmental conservation. The consultation is very timely as we gear up for the upcoming Conference of Parties of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC in Glasgow. 2021 is a critical year for the environment and climate agenda. Though the work of climate negotiations could not be held in 2020 due to the constraint of COVID pandemic, our collective resolve and action to combat challenges of climate change and the environment has continued during this unprecedented time. An interim report from the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change shows that there is a long way to go to limit climate change to 1.5 degree and meet the goals of Paris Agreement. From policy intervention to ground level implementation, climate action is therefore required from all stakeholders across communities and sectors. When Shri Narendra Modi ji was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he was one among the first to understand the seriousness of climate change and ensure its institutionalized management. He has taken a pioneering step by establishing the first ever full-fledged climate change department at the sub-national level. He also authored a book, Convenient Action, Continuity for Change, which proposes a paradigm shift on climate change, though active promotion of clean technologies and development of renewable energy. India, under the visionary and dynamic leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji, has championed the cause of renewable energy. Under his decisive leadership, we are looking to rapidly minimize our dependency on the fossil fuel by adopting clean energy alternative like the wind and solar energy. With this clear vision and ambitious renewable energy goals, 175 gigawatt by the year 2022, 450 gigawatt by 2030, our solar installed capacity has increased 70 times in last 7 years alone. The vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister has further invoked the spirit to nurture green business, sustain lives and livelihood, above all, ensure the conservation of nature for a clean and green future. India stands at the forefront of addressing the global challenge of climate change and has committed to an ambitious nationally determined contributions of reducing emission intensity of GDP by 33 to 35% in 2030 against the levels of year 2005, increasing the share of non-fossil fuels based electricity to 40% by 2030 and create an additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of CO2 equivalent through additional forest and tree cover by 2030. The Government of India stands committed to combating climate change through its several programs and schemes. National Action on Climate Change provide an overreaching framework for all climate action. 33 state and union territories have prepared state action plan on climate change consistent with the objective of NAPCC for specific action as per their vulnerabilities and sectorial priorities. Under National Action Plan on Climate Change, Green India Mission aims at protecting uh, and enhancing India's forest cover and responding to climate change by means of plantation activities in the forest and non-forest area, which will contribute to achieve the NDC target. Further, government has integrated activities under the National Afforestation Program Fund under Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority, Green Highways Policy and other plantation to achieve the forestry goal. It involves afforestation and reforestation, including rehabilitation of the degraded natural forest, restoration of wetland, promotion of tree outside forest, convergence of various schemes of central and state government, etc. India also committed to achieve land degradation, naturality and restoration of 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. This will help in preserving forest and biodiversity, facilitating conservation of natural resource and improving carbon sinks. Implementation of the National Plan of Climate Change and other measures has led to reduction in emission intensity in GDP by about 24% 2005 and 2016, thereby achieving its pre-2020 voluntary target. 24.56 of geographic area in the country is under forest and tree cover, and carbon sink in India forest is increasing against a target of 40% of installed capacity from non-fossil fuel sources by 2030. We have already achieved 38.5%. We shall reach our NDC target by 2023 at the maximum, if not next year. We have further enhanced our ambition in biofuels by advancing the date of achieving 20% ethanol blending in petrol from 2030 to 2025. Honorable Prime Minister of India on 15th August 2021 announced the National Hydrogen Mission. This will not only help the India to make a new progress in the field of energy, self-reliance, but will also become a new inspiration for clean energy transition all over the world. To further strengthen the transition of clean fuels locally, the government has provided LPG connection to a total of 80.35 million households in rural areas, thus giving them clean cooking fuel and healthy domestic and external environment. More than 367 million LED bulbs have been distributed under Ujala scheme. In India, effort toward the use of cleaner automobile fuel, a sustainable leap has been made from Bharat 4 to Bharat Stage 6 emission norms by 1 April 1st, 2020, which was earlier scheduled to be adopted only by 2024. Global partnership for cooperation are the essence of global response to climate change. India has pioneered global initiative of International Solar Alliance, Coalition of Disaster Resilience Infrastructure, and Leadership Group of Industry Transition with other countries to promote sharing of technology, know-how, capacity building and finance to accelerate action in the areas of renewable energy, climate resilient infrastructure and low carbon industries. India per capita emission are about a third of the global average. Our share of the world population is 17%, but share in cumulative historical emission is just 4%. Our current annual emission is only 5.2% of the global emission. Nature, it is only way, is communicating that the path for a clean and green planet lies in sustainable management of resources for a positive impact on society. Business and government, we have to understood that for the benefit of our business, nature in the critical stakeholder and should be an integral part. This is the only way we can be self-reliant, live within our limits and make the planet a healthy. Collective effort are required from all relevant stakeholders, including government, business, big and small, civil society, academic institution and NGO to move toward sustainable and inclusive future. We would like to hear the perspective of concerned industry stakeholders on the ongoing discourse of leadership you are taking in combating the climate crisis. We also look forward the best practices of climate change action measures for you all are taking in your respective companies and sector, which can show the global scale as India's success story. I congratulate Confederation of Indian Industry CII for organizing this event. I hope the deliberation of the conference will be fruitful and add to ongoing efforts of India in global climate action. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your very enriching and inspiring address. And from CII, we are totally committed, as our president mentioned, to work together with the government to showcase climate action, share best practices. And through this conclave, we have almost 400 participants from business today deliberating on this, and we'll certainly share the proceedings with the government and with your ministry, sir. Thank you so much, sir. With this, we end the inaugural session of this conclave. Thank you so much. Namaskar.